What's up? What's up, y'all? We haven't did an actual video in a very long time. But this is our raw reaction to issue 3 of Fortnite Marvel Zero War. We have barely talked. We talked about it a little bit, and we decided to record. So
Yeah, we
let's
just
get
got into
yeah
it. We started. I was like, man, should we record this before we
yeah
get started?
yeah. So let's get into it.
So Zero War
hmm
#3,
Ironically, me and Dylan both opened the same copy. We both opened this
because
one.
like this copy, these characters mean nothing besides Jonesy.
Yeah.
Um, the Daily Bugle has nothing to do with this issue, so
hmm
this cover doesn't mean a lot. I mean, I love the bows in game, so
Yeah. Yeah.
game wise, I kind of like that, but got lots of covers here.
Yeah.
This is my
I
favorite.
like
No one else likes it, but this is my favorite.
yeah, this is my favorite appearance wise. Cover like this is the order's first cover appearance, so that's why it's my favorite. This is not my favorite Peach Momoko cover. But I do
I
like
like
the
it.
cover overall.
So like we
Yeah.
like the cover because this comic is heavy on the relationship between the
hmm
imagined and the order.
hmm
And so the way that you see them together here, first time the order is on the cover
hmm
and the first time they're together on the cover.
Yeah.
So and they talk about the relationship in the comic, so it's a really good
Yeah.
comic.
Yeah.
I guess we should say if you have not read the comic and don't want any spoilers, maybe go
Yeah.
watch one of our other content. Um, Otherwise, we're going to get into it. We're not going to like read it page for page.
Yeah, we're just gonna hit some highlighted spots.
Do you want to give a quick summary to it?
Yeah, so pretty much what happens is that they end up it starts off on the ice moon, which is a part of reality zero, and they find Paradigm is alive, and long story short, the Foundation is still not he's not with Paradigm at this moment. He's like, I'm not with it, I don't want to hear it. And Paradigm is explaining the reason why she seemed as though she was a traitor. The IO was going to take out pretty much, well, allow the Devourer to take out everybody on the island. So the Paradigm took, she was the only one that could pilot the mecha team leader, or the, whatever you want to call it. And so we get that group of it, and then we go into the aspect of what's going on in, would you say, 616? Are they in 616 at this time? Reality 616? Would you say
No,
that? When it goes into where are they? I thought they were in reality
they're
616.
still in the same reality, the Ice Moon.
No, I'm talking about when they get to, yeah, so they're on Earth reality 616 when
Wait, for which one are you talking about right now when they're talking?
no,
Oh, okay.
transitioning out of there, out of the ice moon, getting into next phase. You pretty much have them fighting. You have a little bit of a relationship between, the Imagine and Wolverine, which we'll probably touch on as well. But overall, this is a very good one. We'll talk about some more towards the end. But give a little bit of touch on what you think.
So I thought it was interesting. So going back to like the Foundation,
hmm
they're kind of building out everyone's personalities in this issue, and
Yeah,
like the Foundation is like asserting his dominance, and he's like, "Give me one reason I don't execute you." That was the word he
yeah,
used,
yeah,
right? So very strong words, and not like we're gonna fight. Like, no, I'm
yeah.
just gonna execute you. Like that's how strong
Right.
he is above the rest of the team. Um, so he said that they were fine, but that he's gonna watch his back.
Yeah.
So the Foundation like has a really strong hate for the IO. It
hmm
feels like, you know what I mean.
hmm
That maybe she doesn't. I
hmm
mean, she's against him, but like I feel like they did something to the Foundation.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's very personal.
Yeah.
Like he's like he wouldn't side with them for any reason. You know what I
hmm
mean? Like even though like it helped their goal. So I want to know more about the foundations. It's
Kind
got
of, not to cut you off, kind of like the gripe that the Origin will have with them. Pretty much, that's what it kind of feels like.
mhm. So I thought that was really interesting.
Mhm.
Really, the next best part when I was reading through it was just like the Imagine is such a cool character.
Mhm.
Like I like the fight part where they were all fighting and they're like, "We don't kill them. We need them alive." And
Yeah.
everyone is like, "I'm not." Wolverine's like, "I'm not a hero,"
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and then the Imagine says, "I don't care. I'm just mean." and
Yeah.
she's just like destroying people. So I really liked her personality. It was funny. Um, it was crazy how Wolverine and her connected.
Mhm.
I liked it. I can't believe they smashed inside the comic.
Yo, listen, I like how Crystal Gage like played it safe. He's like, listen, you know, kids will see them as just kissing. If you're more of an adult, you'll understand exactly pretty much what happens, but I will never say what really happens. I'm like, yo, we know what happened. Like, it's like, come on,
Hmm.
so it goes to what me and you have been saying for a very long time. The comics is where they're making that transition. It's that they're approaching a specific market of Fortnite, or I would say a market share of Fortnite. Let's say that, but at the same time, they're not forgetting that kids can still read this, so they're playing it the right way.
Hmm.
But and like let's not be ridiculous. Like comics have been out for a very long time, and kids have been reading them since the 40s with Captain America, and these type of things have always happened. So this is not like a rarity. And one thing I did want to touch on, I want to get your opinion on. So when Paradigm says my world's relationship to technology made me uniquely qualified to pilot the mech. Like my world's. Like it's like so did every seven member come from different places as well?
Hmm.
What do you think?
No, I think yeah, I think all the seven come from different places.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, you can tell because early in the comic, if you go back, so the Foundation was yelling at what's her name, Paradigm, and
Hmm.
she was like, "Oh, you came all the way up here looking for the mech, not me."
Hmm.
He said, "Interesting." You know what I mean? And it's like,
Yeah,
"Well, we did think you were dead." She goes, "I'm the only one who can pilot the mech because of my people's connection to technology in my
yeah. That's
world."
yeah.
So she said that in her world. So, and we already know that the sisters are from a different universe, right?
Hmm.
They come from Geno, um, and they teamed up later, because I don't think
Hmm.
they were always part of the seven.
Hmm. Right.
So, so I think they're all from different places.
Hmm.
Maybe one or two might
Yeah,
share. Maybe the
yeah,
scientists and the foundation might share a place. Who knows?
yeah.
That
I'm
that would
still
if anyone's going to share, I think it's going to be the foundation and scientists as they share a home world.
see if I had to take a swing, I'm interested in the scientist and the visitor. I'm
Hmm.
I'm interested, especially because people, which I don't agree with, people think that they're the same person still, which makes no sense to me.
No,
But
no, they're not. They're not the same people. They have
no,
different.
this
They
is
have different suits,
no, that I know
different
that.
names. Yeah, yeah. They're
Yeah,
not the
this is
same
what
people.
people are still going after. But I do think that the visitor and scientists are closely connected somehow, more than just the seven. I'm interested to see if that end up taking shape or if that's not the case.
Yeah. The other, so getting back into the story, the other thing I like is for the Imagined, we find out that she was genetically altered by Geno.
Mm-hmm.
So Geno is big on like genetically, like creating like the best race, I guess,
Mm-hmm.
and like the best civilization.
Mm-hmm.
So the thing he's trying to do is create like the best civilization, I guess, or the best.
Perfection. Yeah.
He's trying to perfect something.
Mm-hmm.
It gives me like Nazi vibes,
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
stuff. And so like he genetically altered himself, and
Mm-hmm.
that's why he created the imagined order. It makes sense. He imagined
Mm-hmm.
like order,
Mm-hmm.
and so like if it doesn't live up to it, he's gonna kick him out. So he dropped his sisters in the loop.
Mm-hmm.
He made a bet that they would get out first. They didn't.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We know Renegade Raider did.
Mm-hmm.
They did get out of the loop, just not fast enough. And
Right.
I guess when they got back home, what they felt was home, they were
Mm-hmm.
replaced by their looped versions. Now, let me
Mm-hmm.
tell you, when I read this, I was like, I cannot wait to see these versions.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I want to see the looped versions of what they look like.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna be pretty cool. I'm gonna rock those skins. It's gonna be coming. I don't know when.
Yeah. And I guess the what really got my mind wondering with that is just the functionality of the looped versions outside of the loop. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like just because like
Well, that's a question we
yeah.
had way back when,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like, I guess can loot versions escape?
Mm-hmm.
Are they themselves when they
Yeah.
escape?
Yeah. Like and I guess that and I mean based off of what the way she said it, I would say
Actually,
no.
I have a theory.
What's the theory?
By the way, your camera's a little blurry, but
Okay.
um,
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep going. But for the theory I'm having that just popped in my head right now, I bet you, because when you go into loop, you lose all your memories, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
But if a loop version is created inside the loop,
Yeah.
technically it doesn't have any of those memories.
Right.
So if it escapes the loop, it's a whole new person who's
Mhm.
only known killing,
Mhm. Yeah.
right? So they don't have like their growth, how they got
Mhm.
there. But when
Yeah.
everybody else escapes the loop, they get those memories back.
Mhm.
So I bet you if a loop version escapes, they're probably going to be pretty evil and pretty deadly.
Yeah. It'll almost give you like a beside without the wittiness and the laughter, it gives you like a Joker vibe where it's just like just complete chaos. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like, yeah. So that's very interesting. Another thing that I want to highlight in here was when Jonesy brought up that he knows 342,000 languages, whether he's being dramatic or not, right?
It didn't seem like a dramatic,
Right, right.
what do you call it? Number. Is that the number
Yeah.
he used? Was it
Yeah.
300?
Yeah,
Yeah, he
342,000.
goes, I know 342,000 languages, but this
Yeah.
isn't one of them.
Yeah. And that was interesting because it just shows you how well equipped he is and how he was the best at what he does or did, I should say.
There's a reason I mean, he has over 200 years experience,
Mhm.
like going to new worlds and
Yeah.
bringing people back, right?
Mhm.
So he does have really good skills for what he does, and he was indispensable
Mhm.
because he said,
Mhm.
if you give me a week, I can learn the language.
Yeah.
So he may
Yeah.
not be like the smartest tactically and all that kind of stuff. He may be a little goofy, but he
Mhm.
isn't dumb. He's smart.
Yeah.
He has skills.
Yeah. You It's one of those things where you're extremely smart, but you have no common sense. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
it's almost one of those things. And then
And then I guess we get to, and then Spider-Man asks about his family. He goes, "You're
mhm.
not flirting with that girl over there, are you?" He
Yeah,
says, "You're
yeah.
married. I saw the ring."
Mhm.
That's when he told him, "Oh, they're all dead.
Mhm.
I'm 200 years old.
Yeah.
My family's gone." Um, and he doesn't come from the regular Earth like
Right.
Marvel and
He
stuff
said his
because
yeah.
his world is extremely dangerous. He says no one
Mhm.
survives or something like that.
Mhm.
And the IO was protecting his family and his bloodline as
Yep.
long as he worked for them.
Yep.
Once he
Eh,
stopped working for them, they are no longer protected.
Now they can make that. Fortnite has I think that was the perfect window to be open because you can make that whatever you want.
Mhm.
Like that is so open. You know what I mean? To just say,
Dangerous in what way? Is it like
yeah, yeah.
military? Is it like a
Mhm.
dangerous wasteland with
Mhm.
monsters? Like we have no idea.
Especially because just like his family, it it was so long ago. You don't even know the position that part of his that world that comes from is in at this moment. You
Mhm.
know what I mean? Like it's been a very long time. So that was very interesting and it let your mind kind of go and get creative of what that could be.
Yeah, and then we get more fight scenes with the Imagined.
Yeah,
I mean, she literally fights anybody.
she does.
She's like the
She
kind of
does.
character that's going to go up and fight the most powerful villain
Mhm. Mhm.
every single time, whether it's a superhero, whether it's a villain. And she's like hands in hands, and she's like they're like every time she does that, they go, "Who are you? Why are you why are you strong?" You know.
Yeah. And I like how they kind of broke up that even though they're close, the Imagine and Order have different end goals for what this is all going to be.
Hmm.
The Imagine kind of wants revenge and the Order legit wants to help other people that were in situations that like them. So that was good to hear
Yeah,
too.
yeah. So the order, it seems like she's more mellow.
Mhm.
She has a kinder heart. It sounds like, and
Mhm.
Imagined is kind of like the older sister who's like
Yeah.
she doesn't want to show that side. She's more of like
Yeah.
fight first, talk later.
Yeah.
Besides her sister, I think that's the only thing that's super important to her is her
Mhm.
sister.
Mhm.
And then I guess at the end, we have the what is that guy's name?
Who Dr. Doom?
No, not Doctor Doom. So Doctor Doom did come in
Oh,
and fulfill.
you
I
talking
don't
about hold on, I got you.
high
Yeah,
evolutionary.
high evolutionary, yeah.
I can't remember. Is he a villain or a good guy or like in between? It's kind of hard to
Don't
tell. I don't know too
yeah.
much about the old comics. Um, but he says they need to load their storehouse and their samples for the genetics, and
Mm,
he said the unthinkable is coming.
yeah.
He said he thinks it's inevitable, He said
Yeah.
the end of not just our reality, but all of realities is coming.
Hmm.
Basically, he thinks that they're not going to be able to save the 0 point, and it's going to destroy all the realities. And he's
Hmm.
going to try to come up with a way to survive.
Right.
So like they're already building up to like this big climax,
Yeah.
which we haven't really had in the collision event,
Hmm. Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
So, and this is part what the scientist is leading to in the game, talking about like, hey, should we be watching this? It's changing things on its own and stuff, like what's
Yeah.
happening. Um, so I'm interested to see where it leads. My
Hmm.
favorite part was learning more about the Imagine. She's quickly growing into one of my favorite characters.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure.
So that was about it.
Yeah, that was a great issue. My favorite by far. Like, I don't want to do too much Marvel DC comparisons in the Marvel system, but it reminds me of issue 4, 0 point, where you really get a lot of things in that issue, even issue 3. But this was a great issue. I'm excited for August 31st.
And I will one thing before we go is one of the things I do want to point out is that um, reading how they're talking about these comics and
Mm-hmm.
talking in the comics how they're building the personalities, like
Mm-hmm.
going deep into the story behind them. Like these aren't just like one and done throwaway kinds of storylines.
Yeah.
Like they're building relationships, they're building backstories. So shows, movies, more comics to come. Um, I see this as a long lasting thing.
So I'm glad you said that. Actually, because I was gonna say something along this, but I was like, oh, maybe I should wait. But off to what you're saying is you're completely right. And what I did notice about the community, it seems like they're kind of struggling to have something going on in the game and then something different going on in the comic, if that makes sense
Hmm.
for them. So I can definitely see like multiple comics being out at once, different titles to tell the story, a broader story of different factions and everything, like you're saying. And I think that's right around the corner. I really feel that. I
Yeah,
feel
I,
it
I think
strongly.
they're going to end up pulling in older collectors and people who actually read comics,
Hmm.
right? And not rely on the gamers.
Yeah.
And then when the movies come out, you're gonna have gamers going to the movies and people who actually read the comics.
Yeah.
It's all gonna collide.
Like you're saying, they're very confident in each move they make. That's one thing that both of us love about Fortnite. They understand that they can do exactly what you just said, where they can
Mhm.
focus on a specific part of a fan. Let's just call them a fan right now. Or like of a comic book fan of an age group, and then they can also veer off and connect that other age group down the road, and kind of make them all come together simultaneously. So, yeah, I'm excited for the future to say the least.
Well, catch us next time.
Yes.
We're gonna do some more lives every Friday at 10 p.m. Eastern,
Hmm.
and we'll put out more videos every now and then.
Yes. Yes. Have a good one. Yeah.